Hey guys, it's FifaRalle here and welcome to episode 35 of Let's FIFA 16, and we started our Division 1 journey in the last episode. We also built a new squad which at this stage had a couple of players on a little bit low fitness, so I decided to rest them and play with our sort of Dybala, Cuadrado and Konoplyanka squad going into a second game of Division 1, and we get matched up against an Aubameyang squad. That is sort of a theme that will be for a lot of squads. Aubameyang is just in so many teams and he always seems to cause trouble for me, but we get the game started in the 4th minute. Konoplyanka breaking on through into the box, taking the shot, but it hits the post, unfortunately. But we pick the ball back up with Cuadrado. We go past two defenders here into the box, but the shot is blocked off. It goes out for a corner, and from that corner we sort of get the ball into the box. We get a shot in, could not pick up the rebound, and we could not score. And this guy, he went with a lot of slide tackles, but somehow I never got a penalty and he never got a player sent off, and I couldn't score my chance. But as you can see here, just slide tackles everywhere, and it's sort of sabotaging my play and breaking me, like stopping my counter attacks and just fluent play. I never really had a fluent period of play. Just always got tackled and free kicks and stuff like that, but he just, as I never seemed to really get booked or get any trouble off it. And even here when I tried the dirty pass across, could not put it into the back of the net. I was going a little bit crazy at this stage. I had a lot of chances, but I couldn't score. So we go into the second half, and right from the start of that, we go on a little bit of a skill run. I tried skill runs earlier in this match, but he just always seemed to tackle me. But this time around, we got some fluent play going, and a bad pass turned out to be a good spot for a skill move, and Dybala brings us up 1-0. That made me a little bit happy, and then it sort of started going my way after I got the goal. Finally got a player sent off after all these crazy slide tackles. He gets a player sent off, and then 9 minutes later he gets another player sent off. I mean, what is this guy doing? I don't know. I have no clue. I mean, it worked really well up until the half time. Like, I couldn't score, and he stopped all my play, but in the second half, it sort of came back to haunt him, and we had a 2-man advantage, and despite having that, I didn't create that many chances because, again, he just kept on sabotaging my plays and stopping me, and I couldn't really get, as I said, fluent play going. I still created a couple of chances here, but I could not put the ball into the back of the net and get that second goal. And you know, when you do not get that second goal, no matter if your opponent have 11 or 7 players on the pitch or 8 players or how many, Aubameyang can always score against you, and it's always got to be in the 90th minute. And I was so nervous when he broke on through it because that was like one of his only shots on target in the match, and he got a corner and another shot on target, I guess, there, and then his goalkeeper was up for the corner. I launched it away, and yeah, no defenders and no goalkeeper. The easiest goal you're ever gonna score with Dybala. A little cheeky Rabona shot over the line to end it off and make it 2-0. But I would have liked to get that 2-0 goal a little bit earlier, because when he got that chance in the 90th minute, it had me quite nervous. If I had dropped 2 points there, I'd not been too happy, because this was definitely a game that should have been won, and it was won in the end. But yeah, those nervy endings is never really something you want, because, well, after all, we need 23 points, so there's not much room for dropping points. It's either you can lose 2 games or you can lose 1 game and draw 2 games to get the title, and you have to win all the remaining ones. So yeah, you definitely have to not, like, you cannot afford those late games or late minute equalizers from your opponents where you drop points. That's just not something you can afford in this division, because there's always going to be 1 or 2 players who are really good and you're probably going to drop points anyway, and then those players you should be, but you always tend to drop points too in the late stages. Anyways, we'll jump into our next game, and this was a match with very, very few chances. My opponent had the first chance here, big one, 2 sort of shots in there, but he did not put it into the back of the net. And then a couple of minutes later, he had another really big chance. My defender didn't really lock onto the ball, and he didn't expect it. He passed it back, but he got one of those penalties where just thinking, I didn't press the tackle button, I didn't really do anything, he just fell to the ground. And I stood the right place, but I couldn't save it. But then again, I will get my luck here with some clumsy stuff in over the line. It's 1-1, but as I said, very few chances in this match. My opponent, he didn't create anything after his penalty, and he defended really well, to be fair, and I got a big chance, completely similar to his penalty, but I didn't get the penalty. I was a little bit frustrated, and then my opponent's next chance, sort of towards the end of the game, you know it, he's going to score, and I just talked about you cannot afford to concede late goals, and that's exactly what we do in this match. And yeah, a guy who defended really well. I did not create much against him, but he didn't create much against me either, so I was a little bit frustrated, and he just clipped me down like sort of professional, just stopping my attack, not giving me that chance to get a proper shot in. And yeah, I knew I was not going to be able to take a proper free kick because I knew there's going to be a play on the line in no time, so I tried to pass it off. Didn't come to anything, and I lose the game 2-1. He was really, really solid in the defense, and unfortunately, he scored on that penalty, and then the chance there just towards the end. I would have taken a draw against that guy, because a draw can still sort of work in this division. If we just get 6 or 7 wins and 2 draws, it'll work out, but a loss, you can't really use that for anything whatsoever. Anyways, I went out and bought Walker, and I sold on Trippier. So we just need Pjanic now to sort of complete this squad. But we play with the team with Parolo into the starting lineup and the new Walker, and we get matched up against a 4-1-2-1-2 squad and another Aubameyang squad. He doesn't even get full chemistry, but he's just there because he scores goals. But we played 6 minutes and we get our first chance. A bit of a bad pass into the box. I couldn't get a proper shot onto it. I felt I had a lot of space there, but I just couldn't take my chance there. But we continue creating chances, and here we do get it into the back of the net, but we are offside. Didn't come to anything. 37th minute, Jackson Martinez on the ball, using his strength, going into the box, past the defenders, and we score. We go into the lead, and that was a bit of a relief after having played that other game, never really getting into the lead. It was nice going into the lead in this match, and pretty much right after I got my goal, I got another one, Carrasco there, making it 2-0, and at halftime we were sitting on everything that was in regards to chances and possession. But despite those games, I always tend to, like, those games, even though I have the lead, I always tend to mess up. And yeah, another penalty we give up. And yet again, just like in the last match, we actually go into the right side and we do not save it. And that just had me a little bit frustrated 2 times in a row, being in the right spot but just not saving it. And whenever I concede that goal and give my opponent sort of the hope, I always tend to play worse. And here, I was really nervous again, really late into the game, but luckily he didn't score. If I had conceded another like 87, 88th minute goal to drop points, I have been frustrated. But I didn't, and we do win the match 2-1, and that means we're sitting on 9 points from 4 games, which, to be fair, is pretty good. I would have liked to be on 10 points, been a little bit better, but still, it's an alright start to the division. If we could just keep it up and get a couple more wins in the next episode, we will be looking good for the title. But for now, it's going to be the end of the episode, guys. I hope you did enjoy it, and that is pretty much all. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later.